When this woman found out she was finally pregnant, she was beyond happy. But when the ultrasound results became known, the doctor called his colleagues for help, and what they told them shocked the couple. Lauren and David were a happy couple from Houston, Texas. They were at the point where they wanted to start a family. Lauren had already started eating healthier and exercising to prepare her body, but after 18 months of trying to conceive, the couple were a little disappointed. They never thought they would have trouble conceiving. It caused them both emotional turmoil. But the couple coped with the disappointment and started considering alternative family options. They decided to focus on the IVF procedure. First, they needed to learn more about the procedure to make sure they made the right decision. After the first IVF attempt, Lauren was told by her doctors that her homozygosity level was high enough and that her body was preparing for pregnancy. Pleased with her progress, doctors also told the couple that they might be lucky enough to have twins. The likelihood of twins being born decreases even further as the number of children increases. There's only a 1% chance of 6 being born. Lauren and David didn't think about having more than one child. They only wanted one child, and they had to mentally prepare themselves for the possibility of having twins, but it wasn't easy to get used to the idea. 2 weeks after the procedure and another hormone test, the doctors decided to do an ultrasound to see if the procedure had worked. Lauren and David had read about IVF beforehand, and they knew that thousands of couples had tried to conceive this way, and there was a good chance that they wouldn't succeed on their first try. They hoped for the best, but when they walked into the doctor's office, something shocking awaited them. A quick scan was enough to allay their fears. A fertility expert confirmed to the nervous couple that they were one of the fortunate few who got lucky on their first attempt. But that wasn't the only surprise. The doctor looked at the screen, his eyes grew large, and his jaw dropped. The surprised look on the doctor's face told them that they were in for some startling news. They realized that it meant they were going to have twins. Husband and wife held hands and nodded in agreement. They were preparing for a surprise, and it was indeed a surprise. The doctor hadn't yet had time to say the word twins. The parents-to-be had no idea yet that the ultrasound revealed something completely unexpected. The doctor had seen many IVF pregnancies, but he had never seen anything like this. What he saw on the monitor was truly a miracle. The excited and even a little proud doctor announced to the couple-to-be that they were having not just one baby, and not even 2 or 3, but 5. In an instant, Laurel and David's life changed forever. At first, they didn't know if they would become parents at all. And then they would find out that they were going to have 5 children. For a few seconds, no one uttered a word. The doctor knew the couple were stunned and kindly gave them time to get used to the news. Then, as if a switch had flicked in their brains simultaneously, they burst into cheers and laughter and hugged each other. They didn't have multiple births in their family, and the couple had to quickly adjust to the news that they would now have to care for 5 children at the same time. Feeding, clothing, and caring for 5 children requires a concerted effort and a clear schedule that must run like clockwork as it provides strong support. But while the couple talked about the steps they would have to take to ensure a smooth transition to parenthood, the doctor waited for them to calm down. The doctor waited with a serious expression on his face. He seemed to have lost the initial excitement he had shown when announcing the news, and now it looked like he was going to backtrack on his words. When the couple asked if something had happened to their unborn children and what they needed to do, the doctor suggested they sit back down and shock them once again. The IVF procedure can trigger neurofibromatosis, in which case the couple are usually offered a procedure called selective reduction, which means that some of the babies are removed from the womb to give the remaining ones a better chance of survival. When the couple found out about this information, it didn't take them long to consider their options. They could never have forced themselves to agree to such a procedure. Their faith led them to leave it alone and pray that the pregnancy would go as it should. They decided to trust God in the whole process and simply asked the doctor to see if everything was okay at this stage. He took a stethoscope, placed it on Lauren's still flat stomach, and listened carefully. The couple froze in anticipation as suddenly the doctor jumped back frightened. Lauren and David immediately asked what was going on. But the doctor just ran out of the office and started calling for help from the other doctors. At that moment, there was silence in the corridor, and then the couple heard frantic footsteps approaching. They couldn't make out what their doctor was saying to his colleagues and could only pray that their children would be all right. When the group of doctors ran into the office, they gave them a brief greeting and immediately stared at the screen. Lauren and David dreaded hearing about the need for selective reduction. But then their doctor smiled and assured them that everything was fine. There were no visible problems at the moment, and the heartbeats of all the babies were strong. A few minutes earlier, however, he had made a slight mistake when he told them how many babies he was having. In fact, they were expecting not 5, but 6 children. The parents-to-be were stunned by the news. They woke up that morning hoping for a baby and were blessed with 6 babies. But there was no room in their hearts for doubt or fear. They knew they had their little army of children. The Perkins were born at 30 weeks and began to fight for life. Andrew, Ben, Levi, Allison, Caroline, and Leah were born by cesarean section. The 6 babies were born in less than 4 minutes and were doing well. Each baby weighed between 2,900 and 737 grams. After several months in hospital, the 6 children were discharged one by one so that the family could cope with adjusting to life as new parents with 6 children. Today, the siblings are healthy and happy and are a testament to the miracles of life and the success of IVF. What an exciting turn of events! Did you know that procedures such as IVF greatly increase the chances of having several children at once? Do you know anyone who has had a similar experience? Tell us about it below in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.